Okay, the weather looks nice today. I think for the drone, I'm going to test out the log color mode actually. It's supposed to enable you to be able to edit, for example, video files easier, make them pop out a little better. We'll see how it is. And with that in mind, what did I read today? How about this one, where it's that theme I've been reading in recent times where there's a lot of countries that are trying to teach school kids on how to use drones. This one here says, Lithuanian school children taught to fly drones in order to strengthen defense capabilities. I always find this weird because even in the beginning, to me, flying a drone with a lot of the modern day ones is basically like a toy. You basically practice it like a video game, for example, which is pretty much exactly what they're doing here. It says, drone technology has changed the nature of the war in Ukraine, and neighboring countries are grasping the importance of the remote-controlled flying units. Lithuanian youngsters are now learning how it's done. So they did this little report where it seems like they're welcoming kids and adults to learn how to fly drones. They can practice it virtually. They do have hands-on lessons, I guess, in terms of trying to build the drones. It's just like what people would do for FPV drones where they fly for fun. I mean, to me personally, again, it's no different than saying, I'm going to teach kids, for example, how to play video games, but for some reason, the mass majority of people, for example, they try to pass every single drone off as if it's some huge airplane, for example, but it's not. The stuff has been around for so long. It's just in recent times, in my opinion anyways, like here, it seems like it's been commercialized and a lot of people, they're trying to get greedy. They want to be the only ones to do something, so they try to restrict it in general for everyone else. They want you to pay thousands of dollars, let's just say, for their service or some kind of training course and all that, even though it makes absolutely no sense in a lot of ways. But I'm thinking about this here in this report. Do you know technically this could be illegal to do this here in terms of, let's just say, advertising this course and running something, I guess, in the open public in that way? Because here with the drone regulations, you can't fly in quote advertise events. So technically and theoretically, that would be illegal for you to go out, for example, and teach kids, for example, how to build and fly drones in this way, like out in the public and all that. I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But that's how it's written. And a lot of people say, okay, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, from day one, I've said it depends on what you're using and how in general. And of course, what I thought again, it seemed like it's a common theme when there's more restrictions for the regular people. It sounds like officials are using drones more. How about this one that says, man arrested in break and enter and uttering death threats, investigation. As it says here, the Toronto Police Service is making the public aware of an arrest made by a break and enter uttering death threats, investigation. The arrest, which took place on Monday, September 15, 2025, was made thanks to the use of remotely piloted aircraft system technology. This apparently happened really early too, according to this, 1:49 a.m. And it says it alleged that the victim was at home in her residence when the suspect damaged her door and entered. The suspect then threatened the victim. The victim left the residence to a nearby establishment for safety. Coordinated efforts between the Toronto Police Service Air Support Unit utilizing an RPAS, police dog services, and 13 Division Primary Response Unit led to the arrest of the accused. And so you can see, as mentioned, the video of it where they're using the drones and all that. I mean, in general, I think it's good that people are using tech in a good way like here, but it's just that point again, it's so contradicting and hypocritical when people say, oh, this person and that person can't fly this and that because it's way too dangerous, you can't risk it. Yet these people are, in a sense, in a lot of cases, actually using the exact same drones as consumers are using in general. I mean, it doesn't magically change in terms of the safety and all that. And a fun note, I was looking at this that dealt with, I guess, robots and AI. And how about this one? I read about this before, the Unitree G1. And this one, they post, it has mastered more quirky skills. It says, Unitree G1 has learned the, quote, anti-gravity mode. Stability is greatly improved under any action sequence, and even if it falls, it can quickly get back up. So that's hilarious when you're looking at it. It looks like they're actually hitting the robot and it's getting up. It's almost like a real life, I guess, martial arts sparring partner. You don't need like those dummies anymore, like those bobs. You can have this thing, for example, just knock it down, like for practice, it'll get back up. At the same time, I guess that's kind of terrifying. Can you imagine if this thing went out of control and you're actually sparring it? You're not going to be able to tell it, for example, stop. You probably have to like pull out a wire or a battery or something. But either way, that's kind of funny in general in terms of it being able to get up. Funny in an impressive way, of course, although again, it actually does make me think how this could be great as a sparring partner of sort where you don't have to be too concerned about whether or not you're going to severely injure the person, like by accident, for example. But then again, if the thing goes haywire, I don't know what you would do there. So one thing that's good I found when you're actually recording it in the log mode, normally people wouldn't want to record it in those modes because the color at first, it looks completely bland. So you're wondering, ew, I'm not gonna use this. I'm gonna choose one of the other modes. It looks more vibrant and so forth. But again, it's supposed to enable you to actually be able to color correct the footage a lot better, and it's supposed to be better for dynamic range. And here actually, a lot of camera has these features where when you're using the actual log mode, from what I see, it actually displays a color palette to give you a better idea of what it will look like once you edit it. So that's actually good in my opinion to have a feature like that. So that's a plus for this drone in that way. All right, see you guys later.